We gon' start this thing alright. Duval in the motherfucking house. Come on, come on. Do it, baby, stick it, baby. Do it, baby, stick it, baby. Do it, baby, stick it, baby. Do it, baby. I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you niggas. I'm living my best life.
Yo, living our best life over here at King Sportscast. Got actually a new guest, believe it or not, on this week's episode. My boy Michael Sastre here. Got some things going on between us we'll go on with later in the show. But what's up, Mike? Welcome to the show.
How are we all doing, man? I'm excited to be here with you. Ready to talk about some sports, upcoming events that's coming on this weekend and tonight with the Lightning and other stuff that's going on with the Rays and the Tampa Sports going on, and other stuff's going on around the league with the NFL.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited. It was a good crazy weekend. We went into it about episode 5. I know you guys, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you go to subscribe. This week we got some notable games. I don't think it will be as exciting as in a week, but there's some games. I think first we'll talk about the Thursday night, then the game Chiefs-Chargers. There's some injuries in this game. There's some running backs are out for putting their hands on women, and some running backs are out because of injury. So I think who's out for injury and who's out because they beat women.
Melvin Gordon's out due to injury, and I believe the Kansas City running back,
Kareem Hunt, I think is his name. Actually.
Oh yeah, that's the guy's name. I can't remember. He's probably already in jail. Yeah, Kareem Hunt's due to injury, so Austin Eckler will be backing up Mr. Melvin Gordon, and Damian Williams and Mr. Kendrick West will be backing up Mr. Women Beater over there in Kansas City.
Yep, it's probably a good thing he'll be off the field for a long time, so all you fantasy owners, don't worry about him. He's not playing football. He won't be getting you any points. I'll definitely try to touch up some of the fantasy tips since Wayne is out this week. But another thing with the Chargers-Chiefs game is that's a divisional game, and the Chiefs have kind of come back down to earth a little bit, and I think Phillip Rivers could easily, just come in, do a veteran move, and do a Brady and just squeeze out. I think it's going to be a thriller. It's going to be a lot of points scored. I don't know what you think about this game. I know you're not big into either of these teams too much.
No, but after week 1, after the Los Angeles Chargers lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, they're ready to come back, try to get a win off to win the season out for their division. Phillip Rivers has been playing extremely well, so hopefully he can come back, challenges Kansas City Chiefs.
It's an MVP-like season, man.
Yeah, exactly. The Kansas City Chiefs defense hasn't been playing that well. I mean,
You're being nice.
Yeah, exactly. The Baltimore Ravens almost actually came back and beat them that game. That was actually pretty close to what I thought it was going to be, but the Ravens defense has been pretty well. Can't really justify that.
It's the NFL. I think the modern-day NFL defenses, even the best ones, are going to allow 25 to 30 points here and there with the rule changes. It's all about the offense. I don't know how these guys play defense anymore. If I was a defender, I want to find a different sport, because the reason I started playing football, I want to take skulls. I want to hit people. I want to hit them hard. So I think the NFL's tough nowadays. So I think you can give the Ravens some leeway, and they still have a top-flight defense.
Yeah, between the Ravens and the Bears, man, those defenses are top notch, and they're showing that the defenses are still alive in today's NFL.
I agree. I think the Bears defense is probably the model that everyone else is going off of. The Ravens is like probably in that next tier, not far off. I think Khalil Mack's just literally, it's crazy to see the effect he's having on defenses. That Bears team, I know we talked about in the last podcast, it's been a complete surprise year for me this year. That coach is awesome. He's definitely, Sean McVay type, definitely an up-and-coming coach. So, keep your eye on the Bears going forward. If they can just put some more draft picks together, they have so much young weapons and talent in that fan base. The sky's the limit for that team going forward.
Yeah, it helps a lot when you bring in Khalil Mack from John Gruden.
Thank you, John Gruden, the whole league. So actually, funny thing, John Gruden, little segue here, is that Colts-Cowboys game, man. I can't even believe this is a relevant game going into the playoffs. Andrew Luck wasn't even throwing footballs last year. And now we got Amari Cooper on the Cowboys, and all of a sudden the Cowboys look like the strongest team in the NFC East. And if you were to tell people that going into the season, people were people were all thinking they were going to go 4-12 again.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with John Gruden, he's making everyone Super Bowl contenders, trading away all of his key players, Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack. Freaking, if you want to win the Super Bowl, just make a trade with John Gruden. It's looking pretty well right now.
I didn't mind the Amari Cooper trade because I don't think people thought he was going to play as well as he has for the Cowboys, and if you did, you're one of the few. I mean, he hasn't performed. I mean, no one thought that he would be that much better. Maybe there'd be an uptick because they'd have to use him for the lack of receiver play in Dallas, but I don't think that anyone saw that coming, especially with the way that people view Dak Prescott. But I think the Khalil Mack thing's just a stunner to me. I mean, that's just absolutely. There's no way to justify it. He disrespected him in some way, and John Gruden is that old style coach. He doesn't want to hear it from no player. You know what I mean? He's more of he's an old guy now. If you want to think about it in the way he was the youngest coach ever.
Yep, youngest coach ever to win a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean.
Seems like ages ago.
Exactly, just when I was in 5th grade.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So who do you think's gonna win this Colts-Cowboys game, man?
Man, this is a really tough one. It's playing in Dallas. Andrew Luck has been getting his arm strength back. He's been finding T.Y. Hilton in the end zone for long touchdowns. But the Cowboys defense definitely showed the New Orleans Saints a couple weeks ago about how good their defense is. And you know what? The way the Cowboys defense has been rolling, I don't see the Colts coming close. The Colts just played the Jacksonville Jaguars a couple weeks ago and couldn't put up a point. So
I think I agree with you this one. I think the Cowboys have figured it out. They're not doing too much. Dak Prescott's throwing when he needs to, running when he needs to. I think they've kind of hit that groove they were a couple years ago. I don't think their offensive line's playing that great. Zeke's back to a level where you're like, I mean, I was playing him in fantasy last week, and every time Zeke touched the ball, I'm scared he's gonna jump over someone, run someone over, and break for 80. So that to me, I think the Cowboys are gonna take this NFC East. I don't think they're gonna. I think they could scare some in the playoffs. I don't think they're gonna go deep in the playoffs, but the way the whole rest of that division looks, there's no reason they don't just take this home. And I think at home, even though teams like to go into Dallas and play in their beautiful stadium, I think they're gonna scrap that one out, and Andrew Luck's gonna have a little bit of a tough day. Another tough day, I think that's gonna be coming to the Steelers, Patriots-Steelers this weekend. I'm really excited about this. Huge Patriots fan, not a huge Steelers fan. Don't ever get that shit confused. I think Tom Brady's gonna take it again. I don't see what they've done on the defensive side that's really gonna just fluster Brady. Like, they've gotten better, but I don't see them making a push or beating them, but they have been playing really well on offense. I don't know what you think about that matchup.
Man, Steelers and Patriots. I feel like every year we're talking about a matchup between these two teams.
Don't stop scheduling them, NFL, please.
No, if you want high viewership, man, you're just gonna keep scheduling them every year. But we know how the schedule works. It just goes based off of, especially interconference matches. It's always the similar record almost, and they pick out the two teams outside of your division to play against in that conference, instead of the other division that you play for that conference.
And both of those teams have always had similar records in the last 5 to 10 years, so they just luckily keep having to play each other.
Yeah, but you know what? They're playing in Pittsburgh. They haven't been playing well as of late. I think that Mike Tomlin's going to keep that team in check, and they're going to come out firing on all cylinders, especially with a team that they've been having a pretty difficult time with against Mr. Belichick himself.
Historically.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully that they end that fucking
Not even
streak.
just this team, just historically they've gotten their number, but you can never put it past Big Ben. It's Big Ben's not going out there and playing against Tom Brady. I think if it was Big Ben going against Tom Brady, Big Ben's probably going to win, but since they have to play each other's defenses, the Patriots defense play better later in the year. They know how to play the Steelers enough to at least get a turnover, get enough where Tom Brady can take them in just one more time, more than the Steelers. So I think obviously I'm biased. I'm not going to ever pick the Steelers against the Patriots for a long time, especially with Tom Brady in the field. So that's never going to happen. I'm really excited for that game. I think it's going to be a closer Patriots-Steelers game. I don't think it's going to be where the Patriots rout them like in the AFC title game a couple years ago. I think it'll be more I really hope so. I don't want them to. It's going to be in Foxborough, so that's a telling factor of what. Oh, it's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh. So I think Mr. Belichick is gonna put his players in the best chance to succeed against the Steelers offense. Same with Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin has not lost any respect in that locker room. I feel like that he's gonna have his boys ready to play, especially in this tough matchup that they've been seeming to fail every year that they play the Patriots. So I think this is the year that they actually surprise New England, and they're going to come out with a win, especially in Pittsburgh, especially after New England's coming off a difficult loss against that miraculous finish over in Miami, which I'm sure that you love very well.
Madly in love, yes.
Kenyon Drake just freaking showed Gronk how to score a touchdown.
Yeah, we're moving on. All questions will be leading to the Steelers. If you have any questions talking about the Steelers, I'll answer those. If not, I'll be leaving. No, anyway, this game has a lot of cool implications because the Steelers obviously losing in Oakland, which was a crazy sight to see. They have to win out, and they have to play the Rams, the Patriots, and I believe the Vikings was their last 3 games, and the Ravens, who they have to have lose out, they're actually going to be playing the Bucks this week, which is pretty notable only for the fact that we're Bucks fans, and that since we just talked about the Steelers-Patriots game, the Steelers really needs the Bucks to come out and play, and I think it's a tough matchup for the Bucks. They don't have a good defense, they have a good offense, but they're playing probably a top 5 defense in the NFL, and we like to turn the ball over. We don't like to block. We don't have a running game. We just like to chuck the ball around. And I think it's going to be tough against a defense that could maybe get to Jameis. And I can see Terrell Suggs scooping and scoring again this week. It's kind of scaring me as a Bucs season tickets holder.
Yeah, the way the Bucs offensive line's been rolling, it's not looking good for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But let's be honest here. We're talking about Lamar Jackson being the quarterback of the Ravens, and I haven't seen enough out of his tape other than his running game to actually be really that much of a lethal weapon towards the Bucs right now. Granted, the Bucs have been playing extremely well as of late. Their defensive line been able to get after the quarterbacks. And
JPP, man, I mean, yeah. He was every single play. That man, Drew Brees was going back. JPP seemed like he was about to kill him.
I mean, even Carl Nassib off the freaking Cleveland Browns, he's came around as a waiver wire pickup before the season even starts.
He's played really good, like much better than I thought people thought he would.
Yeah, and then you know what? A lot of people have been really giving crap to Vita Vea just because he wasn't Derwin James out of the draft. And you know what? He missed a lot of the preseason. He's struggled in the beginning, and you know what? He plays with a lot of effort. He actually pushes the pocket more than people actually realize, and he can actually get to the quarterback. He might not be getting home all the way, but he's pushing almost to the quarterback before he releases. And if you actually dissect the film and watch what he's doing, he's back there within like 3 or 4 seconds.
He's a little bowling ball. He's not gonna come off the edge in 2.5 seconds, you know. But if you have JPP coming off the edge and he tries to step up, Vita Vea is going to be there.
Yeah, and I don't know if the Bucs completely know who they're starting yet. I know ESPN came out and said that Lamar Jackson's going to start over. What's the other quarterback that's been sitting on the bench due to injury? Mr. Flacco himself. Yeah, raped the Ravens out of money. Other
Broadway
than the Super
Joe.
Bowl they won.
Broadway Joe.
Yeah, that's just. But this is going to be a good matchup. The Ravens and the Bucs, man, they're gonna go at it, and Jameis Winston wants to prove something to all these Bucs fans back at home that he's worth $21 million for next season. So
I think Jameis has been playing well. I think he's been running for his life. I think he's gone through a lot this year, and people want to like hang him out to dry.
I know,
I think as bad as Jameis can be, the other side is not as good. Like without Jameis, who are we playing? Like Fitzpatrick ain't gonna play forever. Who is our long term? Are we gonna try? Like, we're not gonna have
Ryan Griffin.
We're not gonna have a first overall pick again. Hopefully, do we want to go through a first overall pick season? No, we want to be good sooner than that. And I think Jameis is still young. I think we can still give him chances. We still have him for next year if we want him. So
yeah. As of late, he's been playing pretty well. You know, you can tell that he's second guessing himself and making sure he doesn't force the ball down the field. He's trying to take his checkdowns, but the offensive line isn't really giving him much to work with. So most of the time, he's running for his life. If he's not checking the ball down, he's running either 10 to 15 yards down the field, hoping to get a first down. So I'm not a giant Jameis. I mean, I am a giant Jameis fan, but I'm not a Florida State fan. That's not the reason why I like Jameis. I'm a Bucks fan, so I'm going to be very optimistic on anyone that's in the under center. I want them to succeed, and he's got the talent to get us somewhere. I don't know if that's the Super Bowl or what the case may be, but I do believe in him going forward, and I believe that he's worth the $21 million next year.
Yeah, I mean, someone else is going to pay him, and honestly, as Bucks fans, do we really want to see another quarterback go ball out on another team?
Yeah, how bad would you feel if Jameis Winston goes to the New England Patriots with Bill Belichick after Tom Brady retires and lights it up? Then you would all feel bad,
Steve Young 2.0.
Exactly. You don't want to see that happen.
Yeah, so actually, guys, holy crap, breaking news. This week, no players in the NFL beat up any women.
Wow, shocker.
Holy crap. Guys, I want to give a round of applause to all the football players. Really good job, guys. I know not beating your girlfriends is tough. It's like, they talk back to you. It's like, dude, they should know. Like, you're the millionaire, right? Like, no, like, I'm a big bat. No, so, honestly, just a joke, guys. I thought it was pretty funny. It's nice to go with a whole week without a domestic violence scat. So, thank you. Thank you, running backs in NFL.
It's just crazy. You never know who it's going to be. Who would ever thought Kareem Hunt was going to be the one that beats someone up, especially a female? I heard the reports that he was kicking him and whatnot. I saw the video. It was just unbelievable. But that's in the past, and we're moving forward.
Yeah. So what may be in the past now is the Rays baseball franchise in Tampa Bay is looking less and less clear with this failed stadium in Ybor. Man, I think it's kind of crazy that it's not final, and there's still stuff we can do, but we're in the 6th through the 9th inning, man. We're in the final stretch here.
We're in tough times in Tampa Bay when it comes to the Rays, man. I mean, they're struggling with attendance and whatnot, but the talks with that is very tricky because the owners is looking for a lot of public funding out of the Hillsborough County area, and there's been a lot of stalemates, I'm thinking, at this time, because right now they're saying that negotiations are dead, but I, from an inside source, knows that the Tampa Bay Rays are only going to put up $200 million to this $900 million project. And getting $700 million out of public funding from Hillsborough County is not seeming likely unless someone else comes in and helps out. I don't see it. I don't see the Rays owners putting up more money than $200 million, especially from the source that I've talked to is very adamant that they're not going to put up an extra dollar to that fact. So, it's sad to see a team that I've been watching ever since I was a kid, even though that they started off really bad and they almost won a World Series in 2008. It's just, we might lose baseball before we know it. And it's people think that it's not a big deal now, but it's if they're gone to Portland or Vegas or whatever the case may be, Montreal.
The Las Vegas Rays.
Yeah, exactly. You do not want to see that if you're a Tampa Bay fan whatsoever, because you're going to miss baseball really quick.
I agree, man. I'm more of a Bucks fan in the Tampa Bay area. I'm a Lightning fan too. The Rays, I'm not as much of a fan of. I like the Rays because they beat the Yankees, so I'm a Rays fan every time they beat the Yankees. But as a baseball goer, I like having the Rays local to go see my Red Sox, to go see baseball. I still love baseball, and it will be an utter failure if we are sitting here in 10 years like the Portland Rays. Like I don't even know if they keep their name, if the Rays will even be a team. I think it's crazy. I think it's utterly crazy.
Yeah, I don't think the Rays would fit well in Montreal, Vegas, or Portland with that name. But hey, just like he said, man, he likes to go see the Boston Red Sox play in the Tropicana Field. That's exactly why our attendance is so bad. Just because we got a lot of those Northerners that come from up north, and the first and second generations are just not from Florida, so they just bring their hometowns with them, and they just never care to go see the Rays, which is another really crucial reason why we're about to lose this team.
Yeah, we live in a transport state. Like, most people in Florida are branching from another state. Not many people are more than second or third generation Floridian. It's just due to population boom of when people lived here before and now, and the population increases that are going on within the last 5 to 10 years. So you don't have these natural born, like your grandpa was a Red Sox fan, your dad was a Red Sox fan, so you're almost indebted to be a fan with them. You don't have that natural pull to the team. So what else would you have to pull? Competitiveness, being good, the location of the stadium. That's why the Lightning are awesome. They're consistently good. They win. They have a great location.
Got great ownership.
Great ownership. They pour money in. They have, from top to bottom, it's an amazing organization.
Yeah.
The Ray Stadium's horrible, and like Tropicana is not a good stadium. It's like literally playing baseball in a factory, like a big open factory. It makes no sense. The location's not good. Parking's always a B unless you're literally getting in early. There's even the restaurants around it. It's like
head over to Ferg's and have a Bud Light right before the game.
Yeah, Ferg's is good. You like Ferg's, but it like you go to other stadiums, man. Like if that's all you got to offer, it's gonna be a sad day one day, and now it's maybe you won't think about it, but it could end bad.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try not to look too much into the race stadiums because that could be part of the negotiations and just not seeing eye to eye with Hillsborough County and just can't figure out a number to work with. So maybe that's just part of their tactic, and I truly believe that the Rays owner want to keep the team in Tampa Bay. I mean, it just seems like a natural fit with their team logo and their name and all the else that goes along with it. And especially it's the number 13th TV market that's out there. Tampa Bay is the number 13th TV market, so they don't want to really leave that unless they get more attendance elsewhere, as in like Portland, Montreal, or Vegas.
So I guess that just matters to them. Are they looking for game-to-game attendance? Are they looking for the funding? Like whatever they're looking for, I'm not too detailed within the deal. But all I know is, I guess you're a little deeper into this. You got the sources. What do you think is the do or die date? Like, is it all the way till 2027 when the Trop's going? Because they're gonna have to do something before. Like, it's not like they're gonna go 2027. They're like, oh, let's move now. Like, they gotta have it figured out by 5 years before.
No, I truly believe that they're really gonna have a clear picture on what's all gonna take place within the next 12 months. Like I give it 12 months. If they don't have an agreement or at least an idea of what the financial part of this is going to be, I don't think that they're going to be in Tampa Bay. I don't want to say that out loud because I want them to stay, but I truly believe it's a 12-month window. It may be short after, who knows, but I think...
So you say 1 year to 1.5 years?
Yeah, because they're going to, within the next 12 months, they're going to have strong negotiation periods between Hillsborough County and the Rays owners, and I just...
So is there anything that any of our listeners or anyone could do about it, or is it just like
show up to the game, show your support? I mean, outside of that, I really can't tell you what else. If the attendance gone up a little bit, maybe Hillsborough County would feel more optimistic.
If you're religious, pray.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe pray,
exactly.
Because that's what it sounds like now, guys.
Yeah, unless you're a Red Sox fan and just want to come out and support the Rays beat the Yankees, it's all good.
Obviously that's like a hot topic. I wanted to touch on it. I saw a couple people sharing on Facebook. Some of our listeners even, tapped me into the Ray Stadium. But let's get to more positive, man. These fucking Lightning, I mean, they are incredible this year.
Yeah,
the goal differential, they already 6 points up from the second place team in their division. I mean, they're coasting. Their offense is just lethal. I mean, lethal. I mean, it's crazy.
6 points above the entire league, not just the division. I mean, the Toronto Maple Leafs are right behind them. Yeah, they're in their division. They're the 6 points behind the Lightning as of right now. But this Tampa Bay Lightning plays with extreme speed with Yanni Gourde, Braden Point, Matthew Joseph, their rookie that's been playing outstanding this year, Louis Domingue in goal with Andre Vasilevsky out. He's just... The whole team's clicking on all cylinders. Kucherov's passing the ball, with football in mind, passing the puck around, finding the open shooter, getting him an assist, and the guy shooting the goal. Like, this Lightning team is the most complete that I've seen in the past 3 or 4 years when we've also had chances to winning the cup. And, I'm excited the way this year finishes up, and, there's just... I don't know if they're going to do much movement to trade. I don't know if there's much that we need. Maybe a defenseman. I don't know. Maybe a bruiser that we've lost to in the past, like the Capitals with Tom Wilson. But this team is playing with extreme confidence. They're scoring a lot of goals. I believe they're scoring 4 goals a game average. 130 goals within 32 games is just astronomical, and it's unreal. But they're playing
the puck is flying.
Yeah, the puck's flying, man. They are scoring goals, and I think that they're scoring a lot of goals maybe because Andre Vasilevsky is out, and they're just trying to help out Louis Domingue. But Louis Domingue is also holding his own. He's making the big saves when need be. And I hope this just keeps rolling, man. There's a big game going on tonight, so make sure you tune in and watch it.
Big Maple Leafs Lightning game, guys. Obviously, the attendance to those games aren't an issue. You guys go to it. We all like going to those games.
A lot of consecutive sellouts.
Yeah, and they're on a 7-game win streak, man. That's obviously, I think they were on another 7-gamer like before this one. I think they lost one between 7-game win streaks. So that just basically puts into perspective. They're 24-7-1 right now. I don't see them slowing down. I'm excited. I want to see some playoff games. I'm just that stadium's electric. Those Rays owners, they really need to take a lesson.
Yeah, Jeffrey Vrenick needs to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, and then the cool thing about the Lightning too is you still got Stammy, you got Tyler Johnson, you got these guys. They're fan favorites. Kucherov. I mean these guys they're awesome. I mean it's crazy how fast they play. It's almost like hard to watch them on TV unless you're real close to it. There's just so much movement.
Yeah, don't forget about Braden Point. He's tied in second in goal scorers just behind Ovechkin and tied with 3 others.
Point. It's a good last name.
Exactly.
To be in
he
hockey.
Puts a lot of points and goals in the net.
Yeah, I think that's, and obviously Domingue's been playing great. Valesky's going to be back, I think, in 3 weeks. So that will be big. I don't know if they're going to play him right off the rip or work him in.
Yeah, they'll probably ease him into the lineup. I think that they feel a lot of confidence behind Louis Domingue right now, and no reason to risk further injury for Vasilevsky, which is probably the best goaltender in the league.
Yeah, having him back just seals the defensive part, and obviously it's great to, obviously you don't wish injury on anyone, but to have the backup get that experience to know if this happens again or anything happens, he has the confidence to play and to, it's not just you're bringing in some dude who's cold. So that's big. And I'm just excited to see some playoff games, man. They didn't close it in the cup. And I think they need to get it. They need to go get number 2.
Yeah, last year was a little bit of a heartbreak, especially Game 7 when they're not able to put a goal in the net. Actually, I believe it was the last 2 games. I was at Game 7 of the Washington Capitals game, and they weren't able to put a goal in the net, which was a little bit of a heartbreak.
Doesn't happen a lot.
No.
Yeah, man. You got anything else on the Lightning, man? I think that's about it. Guys, they're playing the Maple Leafs tonight, 7:30. Hopefully we can get this episode aired to you by that time, and if not, there's some more games coming up. Go get your tickets. Go get your Rays tickets when they come out. We need to support them coming through. I mean, even I'm going to start going to non-Red Sox games because even us non-Rays fans, it's nice to have a night out with baseball. Maybe you have to put in the work now, but I think that would be good. Other than that, man, I think we covered all the info we wanted to today.
Yeah. Make sure we subscribe to King Sportscast, and we're also coming out with a sportscast, Tampa Bay Sportscast. It should be coming out very soon. Me and Ryan have been working on getting a podcast going out for just the Tampa Bay sports community and getting a podcast out to you so you're more informed of what's going on in the Tampa Bay community.
Yeah, guys. So, obviously, appreciate the support on my sportscast. We're gonna keep this ball rolling. Obviously, we talk all sports, real sports talk. But obviously, I'm from the Tampa Bay area. Mike's in the Tampa Bay area. We have a lot of connections through the organizations that we're gonna be exploring. Obviously, stay tuned for that. The release will be within the next week or 2. We're really excited to get you just kind of like more in-depth, just Bucks, Rays, Lightning, USF, like in-season, all that info. We're going to be just targeting that. We're really excited about the new episodes coming out, and you guys got to check that out. I'll let you know about all the links when it releases. And yeah, so appreciate listening, guys, and till next time.
Out.
Shame on you, I know shame on you, blame on me, no, ayy, ayy. Blame on me, no shame on you, no you can't hide the truth, I'ma slide right through your roof, might pop a pill or 2, let them hate we chop the deuce, fuck that we getting loose, pussy.